Hello Pisces, and welcome to your week ahead reading for the week of May 29th. Be sure to check out your sun, moon, and rising signs for a more well-rounded perspective. And if you're interested in a personal reading or my Patreon page, there's links to that below in the description box. All right, let's go ahead and begin. This week I actually pulled a rune along with two cards, so we're doing a little bit different. But right away I have to say that when I pulled the King of Pentacles cards, the first thing that came to mind was the amount of fire that is behind in the back of that imagery, and it's just kind of really resonating with me as far as fire from a point of view of purging as well as a point of view of growth. So it depends on who you are. If one element of that applies or the other, or both of them is concerned, because I feel like there are some of you who both of that actually applies. It is a sense of kind of burning and purging, but also it is as a means of creating fire and kind of creating some clean space when it's all said and done. Once the fire is done, once the purging has happened, you'll be able to start on new footing. And so that's its own element. But I'm now being told to focus on the rune and begin with the rune, and we'll go from there. So the rune that I pulled for you is the Pertho rune, and this has to do with, it's coming through with birth. It's coming through with, there were things that were put into play, and this is the week where finally you're going to experience the labor, the contractions, and eventually the birthing scenario. Now the birthing time period can take different times depending on different circumstances. So this feels like when I tap into the element of birthing, it's not so much of something having been born as much as the birthing process. The birthing process is its own thing. It's its own journey. And so you finish the gestation and you start the birthing process, but there is a time period when the birthing process begins before it is finished, and actually the baby is born. The thing which you've created is born. And so you're going through the birthing process. This is coming through as the birthing process. You are going through the contractions, the pain, the opening up, the getting ready to push element. So it's can be messy, it can be uncomfortable, it can actually get to the point where it is painful. This is the element of the energy that I feel like you're experiencing this week. The pain and the pangs of birth, but you are not completely sidestepped by this, because there's you knew you had put in the work for the gestation. You're aware of the gestation, the planting of the seeds. You partook in the planting of the seeds. You nurtured the birthing process, or the pregnancy, so to speak. So the birth itself is not going to take you by surprise. The timing might take you by surprise, but the fact that something is being born is not going to take you by surprise. King of Pentacles is coming through. This feels like this is very much work related. It can be spiritually connected in the sense that it can be that your work is within the spiritual realm. And so there are things that you had put into play. There are seeds that you had planted. And so the contractions and pangs of birth happening this week isn't going to take you by surprise. But there are some of you that you may have done some spiritual workings in hopes to positively influence your work or career, be it something that is through ritual or through actual spell work or candle work, or just the law of attraction. It doesn't matter. You have put in some form of energy with the desire for a very specific outcome. And so that is going to come to play. And you may not even be aware of the spiritual elements that you pulled into to create this. Like I said, for some of you, this might be that you did some sort of unconscious law of attraction, something or other, a couple weeks back. And so, you just have been putting in and nurturing that in the law of attraction. And again, it can be on an unconscious, subconscious level, but the birthing process is this week, that shift, that change, when you're going from the gestation period to being able to hold that which you have been nurturing and hoping to come into full fruition in front of you. It doesn't matter. The point is, you're going to be experiencing that transition, that birthing period this particular week. And it does seem to be linked with your work in some regard. Maybe you went through the process and now you're going to go through the pains of changing jobs. Maybe you went through the process and this week is going to be beginning the pains of preparing for the promotion. But it's definitely tethered to your job in some regard. And like I said, for some of you, it is actually your work is spiritually connected. And take that however you may want to, or however it applies. We'll continue on with the World card, and I just feel like once you get through this particular birthing process, you are going to get to a point, even if you don't see it fully by the end of the week, you're going to see enough of it. The birthing process, at the very least, by the end of the week, is going to have your baby crowning. You might still have to push and finish the process, but you're going to see the benefits. You're going to see that which you have been longing for finally coming into this world by the end of the week. Whether it's crowning or have been fully birthed by the end of the week, it doesn't matter. The message is that you're finally going to see whatever this is coming into the physical realm and taking root, and it's going to become your world because of what it provides for you. What it not only provides for you, but I feel like what it also opens up for you, what you are going to be able to see as in creating space and allowing you to take paths that you might not have been able to take before, make choices, just opening up some doors for you, opening up some portals for you. All right, that is all I have for you, Pisces. I hope this has made some sense, and I hope it helps you to feel like you have finally created a scenario where things are coming together as you have desired, longed for, and done for work, put in the work for. Hopefully it's a beautiful week, and we'll see you in a future video.